Steve Westman, the Curious Townie, here on the couch. How are you?
I am swell today. Thank you very much.
Swell.
Yes.
Hey kids, he's swell.
Here we go.
I like that. All right.
What I'm proposing today, and we're going to see how it goes. We talked about this at the magazine about maybe doing something. We don't know what we're going to call it yet. It's almost like a flashback or digging into the vault. Mm-hmm. For 7 years, my stamp on the magazine has been my travel writing.
Right.
This past year, it's kind of upped a bit with the Curious Townie column and being here with the two of you. Mm-hmm. But there are places that I wrote about 5, maybe even 2 years ago that I'm getting ready to go and revisit that we thought maybe we'd talk a little bit about, let the viewers and the readers know that they can actually always go back online and read this stuff. And because there's so many, I've been to all around the state, Bosque Redondo down in Fort Sumner, TRC, which is a great town.
Yeah.
Silver City, which I'm going to talk about today. I was there about a year ago and fell in love with it all over again, as I usually do when I go to these small towns. They've got their Clay Festival starting up this next weekend, which a year ago was only about 4 days. This year it's an entire week long. So talk about that, why you should go down there, what we can do down there, and stuff like that.
To get there from Albuquerque, you really have to want to go there.
You really do.
It's about a 4-hour trip.
Somebody asked me if it is a day trip, but it's not.
No.
It's an overnight destination, and it depends on what kind of route you really want to go. The perfect way to go for me is down I-25 and then just past TRC, you get on 152.
Yes.
Which takes you
that road.
the Black Hills Range.
Really pretty.
Through Hillsboro. You go by the old Chino copper mine, which you pull up to that copper mine and you look down and it's this.
It's amazing. Yeah.
The color. There was a Salt of the Earth was a movie done back in the 50s that wasn't well received, but if you were at UNM and you had Jane Caputi as a teacher, you studied this film, and it was about the uprising of the immigrant workers who worked at the mine. And so if you've got that in your head and you pull up to that mine in the ground, it flashes back. But that route through Hillsboro, you go down to about 25 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, because it's really curvy.
It's windy, and so a lot of people choose to go all the way down to Deming on the interstate and pop back up. You probably go faster, but you miss all those old mining buildings that are still stuck up in the hills up there, which I think that's part of the road trip.
I do too.
I am like the squirrel, or the dog that sees the squirrel. I'll pull over on the side of the road because a barn is built in the 40s or a bridge was built before 1970. It's part of the joy of it. But then you pop down into Silver City and you see this great old mining town that was built, in the 1870s, a tent city because of the miners. And what it's turned into is a little art mecca with some of the best restaurants.
Yes.
Cool places to stay.
The downtown is so charming.
It is. You've been downtown Silver City,
I have.
right? Have you?
I've driven through there. Well, our family kind of went there years ago.
Right.
But
the downtown is interesting because what used to be Main Street is now what they call the Big Ditch. And I can't remember what year it was, but they were prone to have water come down through the city. In fact, most of the street sidewalks were raised, but there was one rainfall that came gorging through and took out all of Main Street. And what it is it's this major ditch. So there's all those buildings that were there. The storefront now go out the back door of what used to be the stores onto Bullock, which is the main road now.
So nobody even drives through there anymore?
No. I mean, it's it's a park.
It's an actual ditch?
It is. And, there's a walkway and there's a bridge. We've actually got a photo of a bridge that we'll show in a little bit. The soil there is, it's rich with all kinds of stuff, which you see in the artwork and the pottery and the tile, too.
Yeah. And
well, that's what Silver City's best known for is their mining, right?
Right. So silver was the main thing. Then it became zinc. Then it's copper. So you've got all that stuff in the soil, and there's a place called Syzygy Tile.
Yes.
Very well known, and probably one of the innovators of the Clay Festival, run by a woman named Lee Gruber and her partner David, which is
And they've set up a very successful business.
Very successful. Lee gave this to me the last time I was there. Just gorgeous,
tile.
gorgeous work.
So can we run through some of the pictures you brought?
Please, let's do.
Let's take a look at Silver City.
What have we got up there?
All right, let's put up the first one there, Dan. And
Well, that's downtown Silver City.
There it is.
That's what you see when you pull into downtown. And downtown on the main street, you get that feel of old Americana. The storefronts,
Very
some of
charming.
the older buildings. One of the other cool things is that down all the side streets, down Yankee and Broadway, the art community that's happened there is spectacular. Little teeny art galleries. Now, I don't mean teeny. I mean they're size-wise they're small, but they're chock full of. They were listed one of the. Silver City was listed one of the best art towns in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Last year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a real undiscovered thing.
Nice mecca.
Let's take a look at the next picture that we have in the queue here.
Here is the Museum of History, and I honestly think if you're going to a town for a couple of days, you need to go to their history museum.
Yeah.
And this one is in one of these charming old. If you drive around the neighborhoods, you've got those old homes that were built almost 100 years ago, and that's what this is. And it's full of that memorabilia of photos and things from people's homes. It's very charming. But you walk out of there and you know more about the city than you walked in. I think you always need to take an hour and go through the history museum of any town you
You
visit.
should go up to the campus of Western New Mexico University.
You know,
Yeah.
that
It's-
museum up there has
it's
the
great.
largest collection of Mimbres pottery in the
Oh,
United
really?
States.
It's a nice campus up there,
It's a
too.
gorgeous
It is.
campus
Yeah,
too,
it
and you know,
really
and it kind of sits up and looks over the rest of the city.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another reason to go down there too. So
Let's take a look at the next picture
Okay.
that we have in the queue here. This
That-
is downtown, right?
That's downtown. That's the
like an
art
art
district.
gallery?
Yeah. That's on Yankee Street. And as you wander around, you can see it's colorful. The people, I found the folks in Silver City to be so welcoming and nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they knew I was a writer in town, which I don't like.
Let's take a look at the next one.
But there's the mural. And you know what? I
Oh.
thought this was part of the children's mural program that the Mimbres Arts Council does. But this mural was actually done by the university. And it goes across the big ditch.
Okay.
Okay.
But throughout the city, the Mimbres Arts Council has done this program where they get children to build murals all around town. And there's some really gorgeous stuff anywhere you turn, the side of a building, storefront and stuff like that. And it gets kids out there doing on their art.
Yeah, and we just flashed this City Silver Clay Festival. What is that all about?
So that's the clay festival that I was kind of talking about. It started out last year, just a few days. This year it's an entire week. If you go to clayfestival.com, it's a really good reason to get in your car this weekend or next week, excuse me, and go down to Silver City. They have workshops and they'll have all kinds of different artists and instructors. You can get your hands in clay, which is a really, if you've ever worked in clay, it's unlike any other art medium, I think. And you just kind of form what you want to do. But they have a whole list on their website of great stuff.
So is this all month or?
All week.
Oh,
So it
okay.
starts on the 22nd. I had the exact date right here, so I should look.
There we go. August 4th.
Through the 4th, right there.
All right.
So
And there's all kinds of fun places to stay. Is it Pinos Altos that you go to that's just outside of town in the mountains?
Right.
And there's some great B&Bs up there.
There's
cabins.
There's B&Bs everywhere.
Yeah.
So Pinos Altos, all those little areas,
Yeah.
you can probably find something anywhere. Right downtown, they just reopened the old Murray Hotel
Yeah.
that was built in the 30s and then closed down in the 90s. And it's a kind of a place I want to go check out again.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those old deco hotels. But Pinos Altos, and you're 5 or 10 minutes from downtown Silver City
and
there.
the Buckhorn Bar and Restaurant's up there.
Which you
Oh,
can always
yeah.
find good live music at, too.
Great steak and
You know your
yeah,
Silver
man,
City
I've been
pretty
there
well.
a few times.